Look, if you clicked on this video, you've probably tried everything. You've done the mirror affirmations, bought yourself flowers, practiced gratitude. But here's what's still happening. While other people seem to effortlessly command respect, set boundaries, and chase their dreams without second-guessing themselves, you're still second-guessing your every single move, overthinking every decision, waiting for permission from everyone, including yourself. And the gap between where you are right now, constantly seeking validation, overthinking every single decision, and where you want to be, unshakably confident in your own worth, that gap feels impossible to close. You see everyone on your feed, your friends, your ex-classmates, even just strangers. They've started their content creator journeys, they're going for that road trip, they're traveling the world, or maybe they've just gotten their dream jobs. But you're still right here feeling stuck right where they left you at square one. So today, I'm gonna walk you through my 3-part framework for knowing your self-worth inside out. 1. The identity audit, where you discover who you actually are versus who you think you might be. 2. The support system, which is changing how you talk to yourself during the difficult moments. And 3. The confidence bridge, where you connect your internal worth to external expression. So we're diving right in and coming in strong. Here's the thing that nobody talks about, and this is going to sound completely backwards, but by the end of this video, you will understand exactly who your true self is, why traditional self-love advice never really worked for people like you and me, and why they always seem to make things just worse, and a specific mindset shift that changed everything for me, and hopefully for you too. Plus, I'm going to give you the exact framework I used. And heads up, the last tip is going to completely flip everything that you thought you knew about confidence. But first, you must be wondering, why should I even listen to you? Do I even have anything in common with you? Do I even understand what you're going through? Well, girl, let me tell you how I know exactly what you're feeling right now. I've been in the exact same shoes before, because I myself was stuck in this trap. 8 months ago, I was literally right where you are. Despite having graduated university with honors, having a job right out of college, having what seemed like a safe and secure path ahead of me, but I had literally nothing that I could say that I was truly proud of. Yes, of course, I worked super hard for my degree and I am super proud of myself that I graduated. But if I had to place going to school and getting my degree up against doing things that I really want to do, that is creating content, starting my own business, creating art, without a doubt, I would choose the latter. Not playing down anyone who has gotten a degree or saying that I regret doing my degree. But why am I doing things that are lower on the list of things that I actually want to do and compromising on things that actually free my soul, that aligns with who I am and who I want to be? Of all the things that I've done in my life, I realized that I was settling for literally my 10th, maybe 11th priority. Always playing it safe, never making big moves or really going after what I want. Never feeling like I truly did something for me or created something that I could be proud of. That's when I thought to myself, is there anything that I've actually done for myself that I'm actually proud of? And I froze. Not because I couldn't think of anything, but because every answer always felt like I was seeking someone else's approval. Even if it's just in my own head. I realized I've been treating the relationship with myself like a toxic relationship. Constantly negotiating my worth, making excuses for my needs, and performing confidence instead of just cultivating and having it. And if you've ever felt like you're convincing yourself that you're worth it instead of just knowing it, you're about to understand why that never worked. Here's where most advice about self-love goes wrong. Everyone tells you to just love yourself. But here's the problem with that advice. You can't love someone you don't actually know. The self-love gurus and advice always says, look in the mirror, say affirmations, treat yourself like your best friend. But what I found to have actually worked for me is to stop performing self-love and to actually start practicing it. So here's what I discovered that changed everything. Okay, so imagine you have a friend. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have friends, but in this situation, let's call your friend Sarah. Sarah is struggling with something and she comes to you for support. For you to be her listening ear, her confidant, and just her friend. Do you immediately start listing out all her flaws and reasons as to why she doesn't deserve help? Do you say, oh, but you didn't manage to do the chores today, or oh, you didn't manage to get that promotion? Do you tell her to earn your friendship first? Of course not. You support her because she's your friend and you care about her well-being unconditionally, without ulterior motives or needing anything back. So why do we treat ourselves like we need to earn our own support? Look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I figured everything out perfectly. There are still days where I catch myself overthinking, questioning whether I really deserve rest, whether I deserve to take that day off, or even if I really just deserve a nap. But here's what finally broke me out of that loop. I stopped trying to be the person that everyone thought I should be and started supporting the person that I actually am. Let me say that again. I stopped being the person that everyone thought I should be, that they expected me to be, the person that they projected onto me. I stopped being her and started stepping in and truly embracing who I am and who I want to be. And here's where things get really interesting, and it connects to something very crucial about something that I talked about in my previous video. And this is where we start the first framework, the identity audit. Most people are trying to love a fictional character, someone who just doesn't exist. And no, it doesn't sound as romantic as book talk makes it sound. You know, that version of yourself that has it all together, who wakes up at 5 a.m, has super productive days, never makes mistakes, always says the right thing. That person doesn't exist. And you can't build genuine self-worth on a foundation that is just a fantasy that isn't real. While you are struggling with self-love and confidence, it's because you are telling yourself that that image of you that you have in your head, that image of her, the perfect girl, she's the one that deserves the self-love and respect. And when to no surprise when you realize that you haven't achieved that level of perfection or productivity because, spoiler alert, it doesn't exist, you subconsciously hold back on all of the encouragement and affirmations and self-love because you think anything less than perfection does not deserve self-love. And that's why even after years, you've never been truly able to accept yourself and your progress, because you don't even know who you are. You have an inaccurate vision of who you are, what your habits are, even the goals that you're working towards. So first, you need to audit who you actually are, not who you should be, not who you wanted to be 5 years ago. Who are you right now with all your contradictions and complications? And this connects directly into the second framework, and I'll prove it to you. I was having one of those weeks. You know, the kind where work wasn't being very fun. I had a few setbacks with my business, nothing new. Everything just felt hard. Old me would have just completely shut down or gone into overdrive trying to fix everything at once. But instead, I found myself asking a different question. Okay, what do I need right now? Not what would make me feel productive, not what would make anyone less comfortable. What did I actually need? And for the first time in my life, I answered honestly. And then here's the crucial part. I actually gave myself what I needed instead of negotiating or overthinking a myriad of completely false reasons as to why I didn't deserve it. Because here's the thing, if you're still asking yourself, do I deserve it? Then you're missing the point entirely. The question isn't about whether you deserve support. The question is whether you're willing to give it to yourself. Because if not you, then who? Yes, it's important to have friends in your life, to have loved ones to see you through the thick and thin, to have someone to share your life with. But that's not the point. This is your life, and everyone else in it is just a side character. Just like how you're just a side character in any of those people's lives. And no one is going to have as much control over you as yourself. So it's done right that the only person who can fully support yourself and encourage you and provide for you mentally is you. But this is where most people get stuck, and that's exactly what we're addressing in this next framework. So we're now at the confidence bridge. Remember my previous video on confidence? If you haven't watched it yet, I'll leave it up here for you if you're interested, because this is where everything connects. When you stop needing to convince yourself that you're worthy and simply start supporting yourself, confidence stops being something that you have to generate. Like you have a 100% bar of confidence when you wake up in the morning, and then you slowly draw on it and drain it throughout your whole day until you're left with 0 at the end of the day. And then you go to sleep and you wake up with another 100%, and the cycle just repeats. That's not how it works. Because confidence isn't about needing to feel 100% to start your day or to take action. And it's not even believing that you're better than anyone else. It's about trusting yourself to handle whatever comes up. And you can't trust yourself if you don't support yourself. And here's the part that's going to sound completely counterintuitive. And this is the tip that I promised you in the very beginning of this video. You have to stop trying to love yourself. Wait, what? You don't need to be perfect and flawless to be deserving of love and support. You just need to decide right now that your well-being matters. Not because you've earned it or because you're special, but because you're you. You're a human being, and that's enough. And here's the bonus hack that nobody talks about. Self-love and confidence isn't a feeling you generate. It's a decision you make every single day. It's a reminder you give to yourself whenever you question, what if I'm too much? Or what if I'm not enough? A reminder that the goal is never perfection, but progress. A reminder that self-love doesn't need to be earned. You don't have to wait around waiting for someone to give you permission. You now have the complete breakdown of why traditional self-love advice have always felt performative for you. The difference between loving and supporting yourself, and the steps you can take to start to understand and unfurl all the misconceptions that you have of self-worth and self-love. The identity audit, the support system switch, and the confidence bridge. Everything that I've tried and tested that actually worked to get it in my head, that I've had this whole concept of self-worth absolutely backwards. I've done my best to compile it in a succinct and clear way that is this video for you, because I know how hard it is to have always struggled with feeling like you're not enough. But here's the reality. 95% of the people who watch this video, they'll feel inspired for about 10 minutes and then go right back into their old patterns. Because knowing the framework and implementing it actually are two different things. So in my next video, I'm going to walk you through my entire exact process of what I do when everything feels overwhelming. The step-by-step breakdown, the actionable tips that completely changed how I approach conflict, and the mindset shift that not really took my mess away, but it taught me how to learn and embrace it all and use it to propel me forward. So if you're ready to stop negotiating with yourself about your own self-worth, if you're tired of always seeking permission and others' approval, drop a comment down below about what resonated with you the most. Because for me, it took years to uncover these next few steps. But when I did, I truly felt like I had control over my own life again. Your worth isn't up for debate. It's not something that you need to earn or convince yourself of. It's something you decide to honor. And that decision will change everything, including how you show up for yourself and to the world. Until next time, take care of your heart, your mind, and your dreams. I'll see you in the next video very soon.